In this lesson, I'm going to show you a bunch of pentatonic riffs. And we're going to use minor pentatonic, the cool jam scale. And I'm going to show you basically 2-beat approaches, things you can do in 2 beats that will get you to the tonic note. Because when you're a bass player, you're always trying to get to the tonic note on the downbeat, and anything interesting you're going to do is going to happen in between. You're never going to like land on a weird note, or I shouldn't say never, but more than likely you want to land on the tonic note of the chord you're playing. And when you're jamming or playing, some blues or just generally in the minor key, pentatonic minor is a great tool. So let's just take a look. And once I show you a few of these things, I think you'll get the idea. So if we have 2 beats to play with, let's just say we have 4 notes. We're going to play eighth notes. So we've got 4 notes that we can hit before we have to hit the actual tonic of the chord. So let's see. Let's just pick E. Let's make it easy. Here's our tonic. So let's explore the pentatonic using the box pattern. And on the low string, we actually have to fret the notes. So now it's really a matter of counting 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's your first riff. We start on the 5th, go down to the 4th, that's the 2nd note, then the minor 3rd, then we need another note. We got to play the 4th note before we can go to the E. Well, I'm just going to hop down here to the minor 7th, or flat 7, and then I hit the E. Like that. Now, there's no rule against playing the tonic note as part of these 4 notes. So we could start here on the 4th degree. And this is a really common riff. So you take any of these patterns I'm showing you and you can speed them up. And it starts to sound a little more, like you're really jamming. So let me show you this one again. We're starting on the 4th degree, minor 3rd, hitting the tonic, hitting the minor 7th, and then back to tonic. Just using that box pattern. Now let's try something else. There's another very common one where we do the same 4 notes, but I do them in a different way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then hop back down to the tonic. Sometimes I'll use my 2nd finger just to make it a cleaner. Like that. Here's another one. This is super common. I use this all the time. So we start on the 4th degree down low, do 4, 5, flat 7, 5 again, and then boom, hit the tonic. Now, if you remember from some of the other theory lessons, going from 5 to 1 is that's the strongest bass motion you can get. So that's why this riff is used so often. We're actually going from 5 to 1 at the end of the riff. So right there, just with the 3 riffs I've shown you, that's a lot of diversity. There's also, like what I just did there's no rule against playing the root twice. So I'm taking a variation on the first riff I showed you. And now instead of hitting the 7th degree, I'm going to go 5, 4, minor 3, 1, and 1 again. So we could apply that same technique to the lower one. 4, 5, flat, 7, 1, 1. And here's on this particular riff, another cool thing that you can add in there is a hammer-on. So if I go, well, you can do it on both parts of the riff. So I pluck this note, but I hammer onto the 5th, pluck that note, hammer onto the tonic, and then pluck again. So if you notice, this hand is really only hitting 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the hammer-on is doing the work. So you can get really fast with it. I'm doing the same pull-off technique, applying it to the riff that starts above. So I'm plucking the 4th, pulling off to the minor 3rd, plucking tonic, pulling off to the minor 7th, and hitting tonic again. So this finger is only hitting the string 3 times. So this takes some coordination to get between your two hands to make them time exactly so it's not sloppy sounding. And that just takes a little practice. So that's certainly the exercise you should practice for this lesson, is to try some of these where you're using hammer-ons and pull-offs and get everything in sync so it's clean and tight. So now, I mean, there's no limit to this. You can pick any 4 notes. You can even get kind of wacky with it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of permutations here. Just picking 4 notes, playing those 4 notes, and then hitting the tonic. And then start interjecting some of the articulations that you've learned. Slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, and now you start to come up with a more colorful line. Instead of just going, plucking every note, I'm hammering on, sliding up. Haven't done anything with this hand yet besides hit it the first time. Then I hit the next string and hammer on. That's how you can build a vocabulary of riffs. And when you've played them a million times, then they're easy to call up when you want to do some sort of riff while you're jamming. You can just be... You can just go on and on and on and on, and that's really a super fun thing about pentatonic minor, is it just keeps on going and going and going. The Energizer Bunny of scales. One other little thing I'll show you here at the end is to add a blue note into the minor pentatonic scale. We're going to use the flat 5. So now I can use, let me just start on that note instead of the actual 5th. We get a little bit more bluesier sound with that. So now I'm giving it a little bit of an articulation by sliding into it. Or you can even bend to it. That's a whole nother addition to this. So, you know, I'm just screwing around here trying to come up with different riffs, but the idea behind this is very straight ahead. Pick 4 notes, however you want to put them together till it sounds cool to you, and then start interjecting some of those articulations into the pattern so that you get something a little bit more colorful, has a little bit more edge to it, and you will be building your vocabulary for improvising and coming up with cool riffs, even writing songs based on some of this stuff. It's that's what it's all built around. So there you go, some of the 2-beat minor pentatonic riffs and approaches.